This video is brought to you by Viper Gaming, featuring the V770 gaming keyboard. Hey, what's happening YouTube? It's Martin with Android News and All the Byte, and today I've got another sponsored product. It is the Viper Gaming keyboard, the V770. It features RGB illumination. There's multiple settings for it, from going from a waterfall to a breathing effect, to having the RGB modules passing through the entire keyboard. To that we have the aluminum chassis, really well done. The keyboard is a bit heavy and does take some room on the desk. We have some red switches for the keys. On top of that, we've got some audio USB pass-through, and with that we also have the dedicated macro keys on the left side, and you'll be able to see some multimedia keys at the top right. What my experience is, how I feel about it while playing some of the more traditional games, such as an RPG and or some first-person shooters like I've been playing with The Division. Don't change the channel, we'll be right back. Viper Gaming has thought about their keyboard and they've made it really easy to use. It's crafty. The dedicated keys for the macros on the left side allows you to program various profiles and various set of keys for whichever game you want to play. With that, you also have some dedicated lighting keys at the top, which will cycle through some of the different patterns you can have for your illumination. Now with that, you also have the dedicated multimedia key and some USB and audio pass-through on the keyboard. The keyboard features an aluminum chassis, which is actually quite heavy. It is very sturdy, and so you won't have to worry about your keyboard moving on the desk. It will stay in place. So I'm going to give you an effect to the keyboard. I'm going to actually cycle through the different type of presets that they have. The first preset is breathing. It's going to cycle through some colors, fading in and out. One of the other presets that you do have on the keyboard is what they call reactive, which by punching keys will change the way the keyboard reacts with lighting some of the keys to themselves. The next one that we have for lighting profile is what they call Sidewinder. It's just going to go in through and scroll through the entire keyboard back and forth, and it's going to do that till the color changes. And then after that, we have the ripple effect, which basically by pressing keys on the keyboard, it creates kind of like a water splash and it ripples through. And the next one is what they call the spectrum. It's actually just going to kind of have a full lit keyboard, and it's just going to cycle slowly through the different phases of color. And the next cycle to that would be what they call the raindrop. Basically, it's going to look like if you had water falling down on the keyboard, and it's going to illuminate it. So all the different keys are going to start to light up and fade away as if you were like looking at the rain falling down into a puddle. Then comes the vortex. Basically, it's just going to go and light up all the keys all around the keyboard from one end to the other, and then it's going to circle all the way back on itself, and then it'll change color and repeat the same cycle. But from that, you can see the different type of lighting effects you can have with the keyboard, and you're not limited to just a few selections. You even have some lighting profiles that you can configure for yourself if you are adventurous. While playing video games, I've noticed that the actuation of the keys did not require a lot of weight to actually toggle, and it's been an interesting experience to play with them. I've also noticed that I needed a period of adjustment with the keyboard to be able to actually use it as I would normally with any other keyboard. Because of the extended macro keys on the side, I tend to hit those as if they were the control button. So just adjusting myself to use the keyboard with a new position and the extra keys has been a bit challenging as well. The software interface for the Viper keyboard is actually interesting. It provides all the controls that you need at your fingertips, from controlling how the keyboard will respond, the response time, the frequency, the rate, the colors, everything can be done from there. And you also have profiles at the bottom, and also the macros. You can actually create combination keys that will be recorded for your enjoyment while you're doing your gaming.